There's a retirement move called the Mega Backdoor Roth that lets a regular employee, not a hedge fund manager, not a business owner, stuff an extra $46,000 a year into an account that grows completely tax-free for the rest of their life, completely legally. And your HR department, your 401k provider, and your high school economics class will never once mention it exists. Pause. Because it's buried inside a plan feature almost nobody activates. Here's the problem. You've been told the Roth IRA limit is $7,000 a year, maybe $8,000 if you're over 50. So you save what you're told, you retire, and you watch your tax-free bucket stay small while your taxable retirement bucket does all the heavy lifting, meaning every dollar you pull out later gets taxed like income, at whatever the government decides rates should be in 30 years. Most people assume that $7,000 ceiling is the whole game. It isn't. It's the beginner's door. There's a second door, hiding inside the same 401k you already have, that the IRS quietly built for exactly this. The Mega Backdoor Roth isn't a loophole in the sneaky sense. It's a name for stacking two legal moves your plan already allows. First, your 401k has a total contribution ceiling, combining your money and your employer's, that sits around $70,000 a year, way above the normal $23,500 employee limit. That gap, often $30,000 to $40,000, can be filled with after-tax dollars, a totally separate bucket from your regular pre-tax or Roth contributions. Second, once that after-tax money is in, you convert it, either instantly through an in-plan conversion or by rolling it out to a Roth IRA. The result is money that skips the income tax bill on growth forever, using contribution room most employees never knew they had. Say you're maxing your normal 401k at $23,500 and your employer kicks in $8,000. That leaves roughly $38,000 of extra room under the $70,000 ceiling. If your plan allows after-tax contributions, check the fine print. Not everyone's does. You deposit that $38,000 after tax. Then, ideally same week, you convert it to Roth. Congratulations. You just moved $38,000 into an account where every dollar of future growth, decades of it, comes out completely untaxed. Do that for 10 years and you're not talking about extra savings. You're talking about an extra several $100,000, tax-free, on top of everything else. But here's where it gets interesting. The sooner you convert, the less taxable growth you ever create, which is why timing this right matters more than people realize. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Executives and highly paid employees at companies like Microsoft, Google, and plenty of law firms have used this for over a decade, because their compensation teams build these plan features specifically for senior staff who ask. Nobody hides a memo about it. They just never advertise it to the assembly line, the teachers, the nurses, whose 401k providers technically allow the same after-tax bucket but bury the toggle 3 menus deep or never turn it on at the plan level at all. It's not a conspiracy. It's an incentive gap. The people who build 401k plans get paid to serve HR budgets, not your tax-free retirement. Now, the catch, because there's always one. Your plan has to explicitly allow after-tax contributions and in-service withdrawals or in-plan conversions. A huge share of employer plans simply don't offer it, and you can't force your company to add it. And if you let that after-tax money sit and grow before converting, the growth portion becomes taxable when you convert, so speed matters. This isn't a workaround the IRS is trying to close. Treasury guidance in 2014 basically blessed the whole structure. It just requires you to actually read your plan document, which almost nobody does. So the real question isn't whether this is legal, it clearly is. It's why your plan summary page lists your contribution limit as $23,500 and stops talking. That's not the whole ceiling. That's just the version they expect you to accept. And once you know there's a second, much bigger door sitting right behind it, you start to wonder what else is sitting in that plan document, unmentioned, waiting for someone to ask the right question. There's a related move, one that lets business owners push six figures a year into a single account with almost no ceiling at all, and that's the next file.